What's going on, good people? What's going on?
Yeah.
Y'all know what it is. It is Wine Down Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And we are here again to talk to you about a whole lot of things. But in the meantime, in the between time, y'all know who I am. I'm Sandy. I'm sitting here with your girl,
Hey,
my
it's Shanice.
girl, and everybody else's girl.
It's Shanice. What's up, y'all? It's hump day. It's wind down Wednesday. Same place, same time every week. What's good? What's good, friend?
Hey, the snow in April. What
What?
in the
Listen,
world is
we had
going on?
every element in one day yesterday. We had some sun. It was a little bit of warm. Then it got cloudy. It started raining and windy. Then it snowed. I was like, Lord,
What
you
you
got
say next?
Listen, you got to stay ready so you ain't got to get ready in Cincinnati. Listen, you got to come with your umbrella, your rain boots, your coat on, your
Yes,
jacket on, your shorts on,
yes,
all of it.
all of the above. And I'm like, I thought it was April. I'm like, ain't it April? April showers. It's supposed
Bring
to bring
May
May
flowers.
flowers, and I'm trying to figure out what is going on. Ain't
It
no
was,
May flowers going on, and no
mm-mm.
showers because I ain't seen nothing.
It was raining, it was snowing, it was bringing everything. What up, Robert? Thanks
What's
for
going
tuning
on, Robert? We ain't trying to let it snow. No, see, we ain't trying to. No, ain't no let it snow,
in.
snow,
No,
snow.
no, that's for October, November, December. I want the
Yes,
sun.
we trying to relax and enjoy. We trying to get outside
Listen, we're trying to be on location once again in
on location once
2021,
again.
okay? Because
What
2020 it was slim pickings with us having to be on
exactly?
location because of cousin COVID. So now we want the sun out. We don't want the cicadas though. They
No,
coming. Lord
oh
have
my
mercy.
God, and that's next. That's next. That's next.
Oh my
But
goodness.
other than that, I'm good. Life is good. It's all good. Just dealing with the snow. How you doing?
I'm good. I mean, hey, I woke up on this side of the dirt again. Another day to make a difference.
That's what I'm talking about. It don't get no better than that. That's what I keep telling people. Life and breathing doesn't get any better than that.
You better say it.
You know, as long as you can breathe, talk, laugh, even cry sometimes, that's
Yeah,
better
yeah. Get it
than
out.
nothing. I'll take that on, like you said, on this side, on
That's
this
right.
side of the world. I'll take that. What's going on? What's going on,
What's
AJ?
up? What's up? Woo.
And that's what
It's
I'm
been a
talking about
long,
right there. Look,
long time.
look, you
Right.
making me getting choked up talking about some 81 degrees on Wednesday. What the word? What? 81?
Wow. Wow.
I walked
Right.
out the house this morning with a coat on.
Look, I had a coat on and some Uggs. What?
I'm like, this ain't right. We can't do this. This can't happen.
What's
So we
happening, Lord? So you know what? We in Revelations. So a sign of the times. You won't know a
sign
season
of the
from a
time.
season. You won't
Sign
know a
of,
season from a season. That's where
yes,
we
that's where we are. Sign of the time. So I guess we all need to get ready. But I ain't trying to wear no turtleneck,
at.
no scarf, no scully.
Right.
And
I'm trying to be on
listen,
the beach with Lewis and Crystal son. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. You
We
hear
ain't
me?
got
You
time
hear
for
what
this.
I'm saying? Look, I feel
We
you.
ain't got
I
time for
feel
this.
you. I understand exactly what you were saying. I think we both trying to be on the beach somewhere.
For
And, and,
sure.
and, and with this weather right here, we ain't gonna be on the beach nowhere, not unless we going over to another country where we know the sun is shining.
Mm-mm-mm.
So in the meantime, in the between time, I hear you, AJ. AJ said she had to get out and had to get to her car and
All
clean
right
out
now.
the snow. See, that's what I don't like that either. I don't like that. Who cleans out for snow in a car on a
I
car in April?
know. At the end of April, it's about to be May.
And we were just outside in shorts and a t-shirt, kicking it.
A
I mean,
jacket.
just out there. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't do it. I can't do it.
Had my feet out, had my fresh pedicure going. Then I had to put them away in the Uggs. Like,
Had everything going, and I was like, I put all my winter clothes up. Was not expecting this.
yeah, you can't put them up. I can't. I mean, you just can't put them away.
Well, I done put mine away. I'm hoping that
That was
I
it.
don't have to
That's
take them out again. I'm hoping
it.
I don't. But You never
Listen,
know. At the rate things are going now, shoot, we might be storming tomorrow. Look,
right, Robert?
might as well. The snow blower too, Robert. We might as well get the snow blower out too. Get the
Listen,
snow
you
blower
got the
out.
leaf blower
Ain't no
out
need
for the
in
leaf
hiding it.
in the snow.
Right. No need in hiding the snow blower or the shovel. I was like,
Man,
this is ridiculous. I couldn't even find my earmuffs because I done put them away. But hopefully we will be better next week or whatever the case may be. Let's just, keep our hands placed together.
right.
Hopes that we can have some sunshine and not rain, little sunshine and some heat going on up in here. So anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty. We want to know what's your thoughts. What are
Yes,
your thoughts
please.
on anything? It doesn't have to be anything in particular. What's your thoughts? I know what my thoughts are. I know how I'm feeling. My girl and sister Shanice knows her thoughts and what she's feeling. So what are you all thoughts? What are you feeling and what's going on? Do you think or do you feel things will ever get better?
Yeah, let's
What's
talk
your
about it.
thoughts?
I mean, I know you guys are tuning in. We got some shy viewers out there globally, and that's okay. For those who aren't, tune in, talk to us. We love the interaction. We love to hear what your thoughts are, just on anything, on everything, on life.
Everything.
Talk to us.
We want to know. My thoughts, in case y'all didn't know, and what's going on is that I don't want everybody to think that all police officers are alike and all of them are bad. I don't like all of them either. I think everybody that knows me know that I don't like everybody, and I don't like all police because all of them aren't bad. There's only a handful of them that are good. I mean, there are only a handful of them that are bad, but they're more good than bad. But with the situation that's taking place, with the Derek Chauvin, I was ecstatic, happy, excited, relieved. I cried. I was very emotional, but in a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way. So my thoughts are, what can we do? And I tell y'all in a heartbeat, training is key to anything. It's like my sister sitting over there. You can't just go out and do hair. You
Right.
can't.
Not at all. I
You
mean,
got
you
to
can.
train.
I mean, you can, but you
But
can look forward to some trouble coming
practice
your
makes
way.
perfect. Practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the
Truly.
better you get.
Yep.
So if you are training, if I'm trying to learn how to do hair, the more I do it, the better I'm gonna get. If
That's
I'm trying to
correct.
learn how to do nails, the more I do it, the better I'm going to get.
Yep.
So I hear you. I hear you,
That's
AJ.
okay. That's all right. That's all right. We
I think
understand.
that's a challenge a lot of us have to try to endure and get over is be better listeners. Because sometimes we need to listen more than we react or act upon the things that's taking place in front of us or around us. Because a lot of times I think people don't really get it and understand. You don't always have to respond to something or anything that somebody say. So your actions can say a whole lot. It's just that what are you gonna do? I mean, so I watch several videos. I do a lot of reading too. I do a lot of reading on a lot of things. But my whole thing is that the incident that took place yesterday, right before the verdict came out, and then the verdict came out. We don't have time to breathe, but just for a brief moment before we are faced with another challenge. And that challenge is, the 16-year-old called the police. And when the police got there, she didn't wait until the police came and asked what was going on. She took actions. Remember, I just said your actions. Her actions, she came out of her house with the gun, with the knife in her hand, attempting to cause harm to not one, but two other individuals. Unfortunate thing is that she's, lost her life because of the actions that she chose at the time. And I'm not negating, I'm not saying that she deserved it or anything. By far, am I saying that? No. But the actions that we cause or we bring about ourselves can either be deadly or it can cost us everything that we worked hard for. So
Yes.
it just depends.
Yes.
It depends. So
Yeah. My thoughts are that my thoughts are all over the place. We talked about this before. Like it's really it's tiring. It's exhausting mentally, emotionally, physically, the whole nine to, go to sleep and wake up, or know that, in 15, 20 minutes somebody else gonna be getting shot. It's gonna
right,
be another story. It's gonna be something else, and it's sad, but I'm also thinking that more people need to think in certain situations when it comes to their actions, because everything has a consequence. So think. My thoughts are that more people need to um think out, you know think longer about the consequences that they may be facing when it comes to them deciding, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that in any
right.
situation. you know um it's just, you have to think. I mean, you have to think. You can't just react nowadays, because it's it's not worth it, and it's costing you too much that you can't get back. Like, you can't get somebody's life back for not thinking, for,
Right.
oh, it was an accident, I thought it was my taser, I thought it, you can't. And even in her thinking and just running out of the house with a knife like that, like, we have to think. You have to think, because
We
there are a lot of people that have a lot to lose, and there are a lot of people who ain't got nothing to lose. And which one are you? Are you the person that, I got too much to lose to be caught up with this or caught up with that? Or are you that person who, I ain't got nothing to lose, so I don't care?
right.
Which one are you? You can only be in one category. You can't be in both. And so those are my thoughts. It's heavy right now.
Yeah. You got to be on one side of the fence or the other. And you got to be able to be whatever side of the fence you're on, you need to be able to walk through to the other side with a clear path. You shouldn't have obstacles in your way that's preventing you from passing through and going on and making sure that you do the right thing. You can't. And I know a lot of people would say, well, they did the right thing. They had their hands on the steering wheel. They complied. They did everything that they could do, and they still, something happened to them.
Yeah,
They still
yeah,
lost their life. I mean, so I get it. I understand that too. But I'm like you, sis. My heart is like heavy. Um, People don't, my one thing is I get a lot of negative feedback. I mean, from close friends and family, to be
right.
expected. But until individuals, I can't walk in your shoes. I cannot walk in your shoes. You can't walk in mine. Until you're able to do that,
Right. It's easier said than done.
it's easier said than done. Absolutely. I
Yep.
can't pretend to come over there and put some shears in my hand and know what I'm going to do with them. I can't do that.
Right. Just like I can't pretend that in an emergency crisis situation, with no training, I'm gonna be quick on my feet. Like, I just got this. Like, it
Right.
just doesn't. That's not realistic. It doesn't happen that way. And
It
that's
does.
why I say people have to think. You have to think. You have to think. You have to think, because everything is what everything in life is with a choice.
Yeah.
So you have to think before you make the choice. You can't just make the choice and then think afterwards. That's not how it go, because you
No.
can't pull whatever your choice you not made. You can't pull it back. So you got to think things through first, then make your choice.
Right.
Because whatever your choice is, you got to live with it.
You
You got to
do.
live with the consequences, whether it's negative or it's positive.
Period. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. So we are here talking about what are your thoughts? How do you really feel? What's going on? It's a whole lot. It's like I look at here in the city of Cincinnati, state of Ohio. We just had recently the little 13-year-old that lost her life because I don't know, incident that took place with her best friend. Um, and now she's dead and gone because her best friend took a knife out and sliced her. So 13 and 13.
Yes,
Both
I've
13.
seen that. Oh, yes, I saw that. I
Um,
said, Lord have mercy.
so it's like, what do you do? How do you go about doing it? Hey, what's going on, Tracy? What's happening? Thanks
Hey,
for
thanks
tuning
for
in.
tuning in, Tracy.
What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? How do you feel and all that?
On anything and everything. What are your
And
thoughts?
everything. And that working with children, you and I know how that is. Working with kids, and then having a daughter around that same age too. Can't
Yep.
imagine what or how you would feel if one day she's here and the next day she's not because her best friend decided to take her life.
And that's one of the reasons why, as parents, and I know we get caught up in work and we got to do this and we got to provide, definitely, but we have to have conversations with our children about friendship. They have to see us in relationships with people to see what friendship is. The whole nine, the whole gamut. We really have to be so crystal clear and so and communicate often about all things and all walks of life because they got
Right.
that cell phone in their hand all the time, so they're being exposed and they're seeing a lot of stuff. So as a parent, we have to you have to do our best to get ahead of the game. You know what I
Right.
mean? Get ahead of what I think she might see on that phone, or get ahead of, betrayal on friendships.
Yep.
Get ahead of these things. Have these conversations so that if that happens, when these signs come up, and sometimes signs don't come up, sometimes it just happen.
It does.
But at least try your best as a parent to equip your child with all that you can, not just verbally, but them actually seeing it, so
Yep.
that they'll be able to recognize, because that's how they learn. And as they get older, that's how they, figure out, okay, this is a real friend or this ain't a friend. That's
Absolutely.
how they differentiate between both. But if you never expose them, you never had a conversation, they never see it, then, how do you know? And then
Absolutely.
we're back in that vicious cycle again. I thought she was my friend. Now I'm dead, So have those conversations with your kids at all ages.
Yep.
I feel there's no age where a kid is too young to talk to them about betrayal, or talk to them about, causing harm to someone, or getting harm caused to
Right.
themselves.
Yep.
So there's no, you can't throw caution to the wind and say, I think they'll be ready in a few years. You gotta talk about this now.
No, it ain't that easy.
You gotta talk about it now.
Yeah, it ain't that easy. So we should be talking about it now. What up, Danita Pettis? What's going on?
Hey, thanks for tuning
What's
in.
gonna be your controversial thoughts today? And
What's
how
your
you
thoughts
feeling?
on anything, on everything? Yeah.
My thing is too, it's like, and when I was talking to, like, who do you hold, who's responsible? Who's held responsible? So I got a text message today about the incident that took place in Columbus, and it's like, okay, you're a boss, I'm a boss. We supervisors. We manage and we do things. With people that we work with. Who
Right.
holds an individual responsible for their actions? You can't hold the supervisor responsible
For the action somebody else did.
for their action. Now, my job as a boss and your job as a boss would to be to make sure that they are doing the right thing.
They're complying, correct.
They are complying and doing the right thing. Did you give all the orders? Did you lay it? It's like from A to Z.
Yep.
Everything is in order.
Yeah, check all the boxes. You got to check all the boxes. And once the boxes are checked, you can't put that off on me that they made a choice when I told them to do ABC and they did EFG. You can't do that.
And then you say, oh, you didn't do your job as a boss? Okay, well, where is my support at? Where is my support? Do I get any support? But you want to throw me under the bus because that person decided to make a bonehead
choice. Yeah. And that's just how it goes, unfortunately.
But it shouldn't go that way. But then you leave me out there. Then you want to leave me out there looking like the bad guy.
It's wrong. It's so wrong. But again, I go back to Revelations. Won't no season for season. We in some different times right now. Like, there's no loyalty, there is no trust, there is no friendship. There is, where are these things? Where are these common cores? Where's character? Where are values? It's missing.
You better say it. There is no loyalty. Where is the loyalty? Where is it at? Loyalty from who? From your dog who can't do that.
Listen, okay. I mean, I think, and that's in all walks of life. And this is off subject, but I think about those twins who killed their mom. Like, who does that?
Girl, no, them your
Crazy.
thoughts. I mean, you know, this is just. But
They didn't raise, she didn't raise them, I'm sure, to grow up to kill her. You know what I mean? Like, think. People have to think.
and then the thing is, what support system did they have? What support system did she have before they made such a deadly decision? You know, it's like if you
Right.
don't have support, why am I gonna keep busting my butt? Why am I gonna bust my butt as a law enforcement officer when I ain't got no support? From
Right. 'Cause you're-
why? Why am I gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing to do better and be better when
if
I
you're
ain't got
standing alone, yeah,
when I ain't got no support?
it makes no sense.
Make it make sense. And then you wonder why people act the way they act and do things the way they do things. Now I'm not saying I'm gonna go out there and hit somebody over the head because I know better. You know,
No.
I got that training from my mama.
Right.
You know, but where is the support? I think that's what's going on around the world. Period. We don't have enough of a support system.
Well, you know what? I'm agree with you, and I'm saying not necessarily a support system, accountability. Where are the people that are going to hold you accountable? What happens to I'm sure there's people out there that heard about accountability partners. Somebody that's going to hold you responsible in anything in your life, and you can be like, you know what? You could check me because I was wrong on this, and I'm gonna accept. I'm gonna look at me and be like, you know what? I had to reevaluate. You right? Not get mad, not get salty because you done checked me. Where is your accountability partner? Where is the person that's holding you accountable for what you're doing?
Girl, wait
Who
a minute.
is that? Who is that person? And
Hold
if you
on.
ain't got one, you better get one.
You better. But wait a minute, sis. If I am holding you accountable and I'm telling you this is this and that is that, I'm holding you accountable. But then with me holding you accountable, then it comes back to bite me because I'm holding you accountable.
That doesn't make, that's crazy. That's crazy.
You want to whine and cry about something that I'm trying to make sure gets done, and it happens that nobody go out here and make no stupid moves or do nothing crazy, get caught up.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
trying
like
to
that.
get somebody else.
Yep.
Trying to make all us, stay clean or stay good and stay on the up and up as much as we can. And when that's done, and when somebody does that,
can't blame it on me.
It's all your fault because you're trying to hold somebody accountable.
And
Get out of here.
Right, exactly. That ain't gonna fly. And even as a person that's accountability partner, at some point in time when you're trying to hold that person accountable and they don't want to be accountable, you gotta let that go. You gotta walk away and leave that alone. Because guess what? There's gonna be another incident. And you don't want to put no splatter back on you.
Exactly. And guess what? When that incident come down and that documentation has taken place, then it ain't coming back on me. Because I've told you, you've told them, and somebody else done told them that's in a position to tell them. When it come back, then don't look at me. Because it ain't gonna, I'll be the first one in front of the media to say, here, I got it on paper right here.
Right.
It happened.
My team
wrote it down.
It's dotted. I don't know what to tell you.
It's documented. So don't come to me when the crap hits the fan, because I'm going to go back, maybe even some years back, and pull up some more stuff that took place. And I wasn't even around then, but the pattern still remains the same.
The same, exactly. And that reminds me of the police officer. I don't know, I can't remember what state she was in, who went against her, I guess it was her partner, who was doing something wrong. He was, I guess, arresting someone. She ended up getting fired and losing her pension. I believe she also did some jail time. She recently got her pension back after 20-something years.
Georgia. I want to say that happened in Georgia.
Yeah, losing her badge and everything because she was calling out what another officer was doing wrong.
She was exactly. She was holding that person accountable.
Exactly. She got fired because she was holding somebody accountable.
Okay, Carolyn said she didn't get no jail time.
Okay, well, she got fired.
But she
lost her pension.
She lost her pension and had to fight to get it back. And she got it back because she was trying to hold others accountable. Others that wore that same freaking uniform that she was wearing,
And
She
doing
was
the wrong
trying to make
thing.
sure that they
Yep.
were held accountable for the badness and the wrongness that they were doing. But when you ain't got no support system,
It's hard. It's hard.
and she got all of
She
her
sure did. She sure
payback.
did. Yes, she did, Carolyn. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, she did.
But Buffalo, New
Yes.
York. There you
Yes,
go. Thanks,
Forte.
Forte.
What's up, Forte?
What's
Yes.
going
Thank
on,
you.
Forte? Good people. So what? When
What's your
that,
thoughts? Y'all tuned in? Y'all
exactly.
commented. What's your thoughts
What's your
on
thoughts? So when that
any and
happens,
everything? Any and everything.
when all of that takes place, who's accountable? Who's holding who accountable? But once again, she didn't have no support. That means the higher ups didn't support her. That means the ones on the top. Come
That
on
means
now,
the ones on the top wanted to
keep
keep
it
what
real.
was happening that was wrong a secret
and
and
knew
quiet.
it was wrong. They
Right.
knew it was wrong. So she had to go fight against the system in order to get her stuff back.
There you go. There you go, Tracy.
Thank you. Her partner was choking the life out of the guy that he arrested.
Yep.
But when you got nobody to support you and to help you, and then these bad decisions are made
to look like it's okay.
Because you can't tell me that wasn't the first time that an incident took place. At all.
Sure. Nope. Carolyn said, I know I did the same thing. My brothers and sisters supported us.
Exactly. But that's your brothers and sisters. But who at the top supported you, Carolyn? That's what I'm talking about. But
that's what makes the difference.
That's what makes the difference. It's one thing that your brothers and sisters like me in the same uniform, wearing the same thing, that's going to stand by you and stand with you and support you. But at the end of the day, it's not really about me standing next to you. It's about them ones that's at the top that can really make things happen.
Forte said it. He said it.
In the case of the New York officer, the partner was, he was a tyrant. And like, once again, that wasn't the first time that he was a tyrant.
No, not at all. But the higher up.
That's right. She decided to stand up and hold him accountable for his actions. And once she did that, the system failed her. Come on now, let's keep it real. The system failed her, and those that were higher up failed her too, because they didn't support her.
And they knew better.
So we back at it again. Y'all can't tell me that Derek Chauvin didn't have the same issues. He didn't, because they said it. The boy got wrote up several times. Who held him accountable? Now look what happened.
Right.
Nobody
looked the other way. And so now, guess who got to pay now? Because you can't keep looking the other way.
Nope.
Higher up or not. It's not. It's not.
Know the Bible say turn the other cheek, but I ain't gonna keep turning the cheek, because when you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna document you being wrong, and it's gonna be on paper, because if I'm trying to hold you accountable for something that I know you're doing and you shouldn't be doing, and you do it, and you are allowed to do it, it ain't gonna come back on me. I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't gonna come back on me. Yep. He was grooming those three officers. Girl,
and that's the problem. That's what we're seeing today. That's exactly what we're seeing today.
You know, that's what happens behind. This is my personal feeling. After being in law enforcement for 22 years, and I think I got some help on the other side here. That's what happens. They groom those that they can groom to do the things that they know they can do and get away with. That's what I feel. That's my feeling. That, those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts, because that's what we're doing. My thoughts are, there are some police officers that groom younger officers to do things knowing that they shouldn't be doing them. But then at the end of the day, who's going to be held accountable for those actions? I agree with you on that.
And they feel comfortable doing it because they've gotten away with it for so long. So it feels easy to do. It looks easy to do.
He did think he was
Denzel. I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another thought right about now, though.
Girl, look, see, Carolyn gonna throw names out there. I can always count on my sister to put the people out there. I can always count on my sister to throw the names, but we still got them same people. But you and I know, Carolyn, that they do that, and they train other people to pick up where they left off. They retired.
Yeah.
So how many people like Janky that are still in the system today, working right there.
Yep.
Because they were trained. They have trained them to do things
The wrong
according.
way.
Yes, we do know, because it's horrible. We work in the system that's not very well supported by those that are higher up. Now let's just keep it 100. But not all of us, not all of us.
Are like that. Nope.
Some people got a mass support. Some people got from the echelons on up. For those that's higher up, they got all the support in the world. All the support in the world. But I can guarantee you, if Cassandra Bradford Tucker was somewhere doing something she ain't got no business, and on the TV and on the news, they wouldn't be supporting me. I wouldn't have no support. None whatsoever. And yes, Carolyn, there's a whole bunch of them that's still on the department that's like that. You and I know that.
Well, that's why we're starting to see it. We're starting to see it more
That's
and more.
why it's out. You're right. That's why it's all coming out more.
Yeah, it was a secret before because we didn't have cameras. We didn't have these, cell phones that's rolling 24/7. Or people got, cameras and stuff in their cars. So it was happening, but we wasn't really seeing it. And now it's happening at such an alarming rate. And people have gotten so bold because they've gotten away with it for so long that they're at the point where I don't care. I don't care you recording me kicking somebody in the head. I'm going to get off, so it don't matter.
Exactly. That's the mentality. Because they have had support and nobody has held them accountable. Nobody has held them accountable. But now, with the Chauvin, the jury held him accountable, but the people that he was working with, the higher ups, didn't hold him accountable. Those 12 people that was in that stand, them sitting in them chairs, held him accountable for his actions, and that we are grateful for. I'm thankful for it. Trump folks, cops feel free to disregard. Somebody just talked about that earlier today. The question they posed to me: do I think the crime has gone up? Yeah, crime went up. Crime went up.
For sure. The gate was open. The door was open.
It was wide open.
Leeway was given that had never been given really before in that manner.
Yep. I'm like, who's holding who accountable? Who's holding who responsible? Those 12 jurors hold Chauvin accountable and responsible by saying guilty, guilty, guilty. 1, 2, 3. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, you are guilty. How about that?
And guess what? Just how they try to turn it and make it seem like Maxine Waters comment this and yada yada that. I said to myself, nobody said anything. What has been done to Trump?
But my thing is, why you always got to blame it on the black person? Why you always got to blame it on the black man? Why you always got to blame it on the black woman? Come on now.
There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse.
Always the finger's being pointed somewhere else instead of the finger being pointed at
so where it needs to be. Exactly.
At the individual that's causing all of this. You want to point the finger somewhere else. Point the finger at the person that's causing the problems. That's creative.
That cracked the door open. All you need, what he needs is what? A crack. It was cracked open. It was cracked open.
They getting ready to hold the entire Minnesota Police Department accountable. Well, they certainly should.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
But let's, even when it happened here,
we're gonna see.
The truth is, the time they give him for killing George, that's the question right there. That is the question, $1 million. Right. What are they gonna do? We know what the years were for each count. We know what the years were, minimum and maximum for each count. The question is, I'm with you, Carolyn. What is the judge gonna give him?
And that's when it's really gonna count. That's when it's really gonna count.
For killing, because he killed him. He killed George Floyd. He killed George Floyd. Let's not say he killed that man. He killed him. So he can get from 10 to 45 years. Woo! But guess what? It's all gonna be up to the judge. And at the end of the day, like I said yesterday, this is
let's see if you get a pat on the shoulder or a stroke.
So Tracy seems to think he'll get a minimum or a maximum of 12 years. Well, let's look at the girl. We talked about this the other week. Let's look at the girl in Texas. She walked in the man's house, killed him. She got 5, 8 years or something like that. And she about to get out. No history, could get less than 10. Well, that's another thing that they were talking about. Yep. See, and we back at ground zero. Who's
That's
who
it.
holds who accountable?
That's what I'm
Who's holding
saying.
who accountable? See,
That's
what I think too is they should have let the jury decide how many years he get.
for sure.
Don't put it in the judge's hands.
Yep.
Put it in the jury's hands.
Yep.
And you're right, Tracy. He'll get 3/4 of that time. He ain't gonna get the whole time. We already know that if they don't cut it in half, he might not even get 3/4. He might get half of that time. He could very well get half of that time. And I'm gonna tell y'all now, y'all need to look at that stand your ground law. That's Ohio stand your ground law. Don't get it twisted.
Get educated. Don't be a fool. Do not be a fool out here. Don't
be bamboozled by the stand your ground law. Because the girl what happened in Columbus yesterday was not a stand your ground law incident. I'm telling y'all, it was not a stand your ground law incident. So please look that up. Chauvin got to choose who picks his time. I'm sure the judge. They talked about that yesterday. Because he didn't want that happening nowhere else. Because had the jury picked his time, he probably would have got the whole 45 years.
Which he deserved. You took somebody's life. That man can't come back.
Nope.
You can't come back for that. That's it. And when are they going to be held not only accountable, when are they going to be an example, like how they make black people an example, left and right with no problems?
Yep. And the thing about it, those other 3 guys are being accused for what, aiding and abetting in the murders, because they didn't do anything, and one was sitting on him too. It's like, who is going to say something? And you're right, Tracy.
Listen, you better say it, Tracy. Yes, ma'am.
Stand your ground ain't for us. And there you go. Stand your ground means death for black. So that's why I'm telling y'all, please read. Please read on the stand your ground law. Because as soon as somebody say I'm threatened, I feel like I'm scared, and the next thing you know, I pray we don't see none of y'all, none of our watchers and family members on nothing.
It ain't gonna fly. We telling you now. So you better read up. And if you need an interpreter, you better contact the lawyer that can interpret it for you. Because guess what? It's not time to play.
Yeah, Forte, I agree. They're going to take a plea bargain. They might not even go to trial. So that might not even happen. And here we go. Once again, the taxpayers in Minnesota and probably Ohio too, going to be paying for all of that for years. Because that's federal stuff, and our federal income tax and all that stuff might go up. I don't know. But who's holding who accountable? Who's holding who accountable? Where is the support? Where's the support? Where's the backbone? Terrence said, Forte said, you can't stand your ground when you're safe in your own home and you already called the police, and then you go outside and engage in people with a knife. Forte, you better tell them. You better tell them. A knife is a deadly weapon. Would you help?
When you add a weapon into it, it changes the game. It changes the whole trajectory. It's a different ball game.
Knife is a deadly weapon. I don't know why people think you can bring a knife to a gunfight. Because you can't. But why would you call? See, that's what we're talking about, the case now in Columbus with the 16-year-old girl. Now, let me let you guys know. We are not
professionals.
And we are not saying it was okay. What we are saying is, if you call the police,
stay your butt in the house till they get there.
Please wait until they get there so you can tell them what took place and what happens. But as soon as the police arrive,
they see it's looking different than what was reported. You can't say one thing and then when they get there, it looked like something else, because these aren't the times to be trying to switch it up and change it up, and it's not the time.
Yep, it's not the time. And then you got folks kicking and beating the other girl that fell on the ground, and then she coming out with the knife in the hand. So what's going to happen?
You got to think. It don't, you got to think. It don't look right. I mean, if you call to put it in the right hands, let the right hands handle it. Let the right hands take care of it.
Who's accountable for that? Who's accountable for that? White folks must know this, because they stand their ground and shoot us just to say they fear for their life. And you're absolutely correct, Carol.
Yeah.
because that's what's going to happen with the stand your ground law here in Ohio.
Yep.
Because they've been waiting on that for the longest. Now, I ain't going to say all of them because I don't like putting people in categories, you know.
Because we don't want to be placed in the category.
There are some that's happy to see the stand your ground law come to play.
Yeah.
The state of Ohio.
For just that reason alone.
For just that reason alone. The problem with stand your ground laws is it starts in the hands of the local prosecutor to decide whether it goes where it goes after that or not. Yes, you're right, and you are right, Carolyn. My thing is that we got to educate ourselves. I think a lot of times we don't educate ourselves as Black folks. A lot of Black people, some Black people don't educate ourselves. We don't educate ourselves on many things that's taking place around us, many laws, many changes in the laws, even whether it's DUI or whether it's stand your ground, whatever it is, you know, however it is, you know, we don't do a lot of reading when it comes to that. I think the more we educate ourselves on a lot of issues, the better we'll be.
Yeah.
The better off we'll be. I mean, let's take voting. If we don't vote, we should. The thing about it is the stand your ground law probably wouldn't have never came into place had the people in Ohio not voted for DeWine.
It is what it is.
Period. You know, I think he had that plan to do that from the very beginning. But it's not just Ohio, it's Florida. And it's a few other states that's got that stand your ground. That's how Trayvon Martin got shot and killed.
Yeah, because Florida, I want to say Florida was the first place that you know, a lot of people had even heard about the law.
We need to be educated. Trayvon Martin got shot and killed by somebody that was not the police. He was a citizen.
Yeah.
He wasn't even a citizen on patrol. He was a regular citizen.
That's it.
And he got shot and killed because Zimmerman said he was standing his ground
when he was walking away from him.
Yes, he was not. He didn't feel no threatened or nothing. But Zimmerman shot that baby because he said he feared for his life. But he was the one that went to look for trouble, not Trayvon. And Zimmerman was not the police. And he was not a citizen on patrol. He was the regular person in the neighborhood.
So Black folks, you can't try that. Don't do it.
Think about that.
Do not do it.
Think about that one. Hey, what's going on, King? You think about that one. You think about the Zimmerman case. That's a piece of the stand your ground right there.
Yep. That was the beginning of the end.
That was the beginning of the stand your ground right there. And unfortunately, Trayvon lost his life to a regular old Joe Blow citizen.
Yeah, just because.
Just because.
He rolled the tail because I want to stand my ground.
Said he feared his life and he was trying to stand his ground. Totally Jim Crow. Totally Jim Crow. How do you start the fight even after being advised by the police? You are on the way. You tell them, claim your losing kill a teenager and claim standing. Exactly.
Right. That's right, Jim. That's right.
Modern old day Jim Crow. We in the Reconstruction era. They're trying to get back to all of that back in the day. See those Carolyn say, see, those are the type of white people that are dangerous and we need to watch them. And I agree with you, Carolyn. But the whole thing about it is, shoot, it's gonna take more than me, you, and Trinice and Forte to watch them. Because you and I know them very same people. Some of them are standing right next to me.
And you have, and some of them came out. Some of them came out this past election.
Yes, they did.
And then they went back to where they was. And some of them didn't come all the way out. So you got to pay attention. Girl,
and Tracy, I don't know if he was planning to be a fake cop because I don't think he identified himself on the radio as a fake cop. I think I don't know how he did it, but at the end of the day, we know how it all came out.
Yeah.
It all came out that man was not the police.
And he got away with murder.
In his brain, he thought he was the police. He probably thought he was
some superhero.
He probably thought it was Barney Fife or somebody, but he was not the police, but he
No.
thought he was. And he thought he could get away, and he did it by doing what he did, killing a young black man, walking down the street, going home, getting after he went to the store. You don't tell me you can't walk in this neighborhood. Crazy.
Mhm.
And I was talking today. We was talking about the Derek Chauvin case. I'm still trying to figure out. Y'all let me know. I need a little help here.
That's it, Miss Carolyn. You right. That's all it
Yep.
was.
He was just crazy and wanted to shoot a
How
black
you standing
child.
your your ground for somebody that's walking away? Make it make sense.
Yes, he did. You're absolutely right. He always wanted to be a police, but he just couldn't make it.
And those are the type of things, if he'd have got on the force, he would have been doing, killing black people.
He would have been another Derek Chauvin, is what he would have been. What he would have been. It was another Derek Chauvin. So he did. He always wanted to be the police, but just could not pass the test. And he wanted to be citizens on patrol, but they wouldn't let him do that either because he had something in his background. So he couldn't be the police, and he couldn't be citizens on patrol. But this is the thing that I was talking and asking somebody today. Can somebody help me? I need a little help with this question.
Chime in, viewers.
Did they ever find out if the $20 bill was fake? I have not heard that yet.
Listen, right?
Can somebody, because if you are coming, let me tell you how we operate. I'm going to need a little help from Carolyn Forte.
Man.
If you tell me you got a person here that's trying to pass a bad check or a bad bill,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to confiscate the information, the paperwork, the whatever. How do I know it's fake? I'm not an expert at that. I got to send it off so it can be tested for that. Now, what I can do is I can write you a ticket and make sure that you show up for court for this if it is fake, because I don't know that.
Right.
I'm not gonna force your hands behind your back and put you in a car where you claustrophobic and you can't sit down and you can't get in. And I'm telling you, that was it. Right. I'm telling you, but I'm trying to figure out. You said Carolyn said about the video where the Army sergeant terrorizing the black girl. I saw that too.
Right.
We're gonna talk about that too. I ain't like that either. We're gonna talk about that too. He didn't realize that he was not
right. George Zimmerman, exactly. You right, Tracy. You are right.
Forte, just think about it. Minnesota spent millions of dollars with the best prosecutor and attorney in their state and worldwide. Embarrassment because of the video to prosecute this guy. Absolutely.
Wasting time and money.
Wasting valuable money.
When it's clear.
Taxpayers' money. But I still want to know, people, can somebody help me? Was the $20 bill, did they ever come up to let us know if the money
was fake? And I don't know nobody who walks around with a black marker to check money. I'm just saying. Just because they say it don't mean that's what it is.
Did the clerks in the store say the money was fake? You had the clerks on the stand, but did they say the money was fake?
Right. Just think of put that back up. Forte said in general, municipal police and the average citizens can't 100% determine if money is counterfeit or not. In Cincinnati, we would usually get information on the person send money to Secret Service. Exactly.
You got to send it off. You got to send it off. Exactly. See, AJ said good question. Danita said she don't know either.
Nobody does at this point.
Tracy
the man lost his life.
Because I'm gonna need a little help. Nobody knows about the $20 bill. As a matter of fact, the $20 bill was not even presented in court. The money that was taken or confiscated, was it ever presented in court?
Right. Where is it?
If you're stopping this man because you got a call from the clerk who said the money was fake, where is the money? How did the clerk know that it was fake? Did he mark the $20 bill like they normally mark a bid, It
Yeah.
was fake before tape. It was never presented in court. So we done blew up. We done jacked everything up.
This man
We
done
done
lost his
burned
life
stores down.
off of what somebody said.
All because they said this man had lost his life.
Off of what somebody said.
Investigated since George died. There's no there. Look, if you gonna present the case,
You gotta present the full case.
What's going on, Angela? If you're gonna present the case, you got to bring all of the bucket.
Exactly.
You can't bring the bucket it half empty.
No.
Danita says, I suspect if it was fake, they would have definitely said that. My whole point. They should have said it.
They
if
ain't
it
said
was
nothing
fake.
though. They haven't said anything.
Nobody brought up. That's how the run started. That's how all of this started, was fake money.
Right.
So George Floyd died for some fake money that was never presented.
But was it fake? And that's the thing. Like, he died, but do we know if the money was fake or not? This man just died. Like, do we know if the money was fake? If it wasn't fake, he died for nothing.
Absolutely.
He died because somebody said it was fake.
So who holds the people in the store accountable? Who's holding the people in the store accountable? Because they the ones started all of this.
Man, listen, the jury should have made that call on what he get on his sentence.
The prosecutor should have forced that. So who's holding the people at that darn store accountable?
Exactly.
Who do they have to answer to?
Don't know. They still cashing checks and ringing up people's merchandise. Okay.
They still taking fake money, I guess. George Floyd lost his life at the hands of Derek Chauvin over a freaking $20 bill that ain't nobody
said was fake.
And that somebody in that store said it was fake. Remember, Family American money only gets out of circulation when it gets very old and unusable. There's money from the 40s and 50s, 60s that look nothing like this new money today. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. Because the new money today got this freaking line in it.
Yeah.
If I got a $20 bill from 1960 or 80, it ain't gonna have a line in it. The $100 bill ain't gonna have a line in it.
I got some money. I got some old money the other day, and I was just looking at it like, man, I ain't seen this in a long, long, long time.
You're right, Carolyn. Once Derek Chauvin came on there, it was no longer about the money. But I'm still trying to figure out where that $20 bill at. Ain't nobody raising hell about that $20 bill but me. Nobody. I want to know what the freaking, and the clerk got on the stand. You're right. And the clerk did testify and cried, said he was sorry. Sorry for what?
What are you sorry for? Did you lie? Was it real and you called and said it was fake? Did that little black marker stay black on the $20 bill? Talk, what's up?
I'm still trying to find out where the money that was taken. And we know he had money in his hand because the video showed he had money.
Terrible.
So Minnesota is now burnt up. You can't go shopping in the black neighborhood where he lived, where the store was. You can't even go in there to shop. But that store's still open. And they're still taking your money, your check, your food stamps, your credit card, your everything.
For sure.
But you still can't present that $20 bill. So we done out here and went 14 days straight, 12-hour shifts with no time off for a $20 bill that ain't nobody seen. And George Floyd is dead and gone. For something
and for what though?
Make it make sense. They need to be arrested for making a false run. They need to go to jail for making something. They need to be cited, fined.
That's horrible.
Because see, thinking about it, I'm getting on 10.
Listen, that's crazy.
No.
Listen, Danita, okay. No, because they petitioned that. They ain't want Harriet Tubman on $20 bill. No. Right.
You're right. Hundreds of millions and thousands of dollars in damage and losses in Minnesota for some foolishness over a $20 bill.
Over some he said, she said, because we don't know.
And Ben Crump should have been, why he up here collecting millions of dollars from folks, he should have been the one that's beating the pavement and pounding the salt to make the people show the $20 bill.
Right.
He's so busy buying new suits and coming on TV talking about he got what he got next. Somebody present me the $20 bill. I'm still trying to.
Listen,
Who do I need to call? The Attorney General in Minnesota and ask him where is the $20 bill?
this man lost his life over what somebody said.
This man dead and gone over some. Yeah, Ben Crump is a clown.
For sure.
George Foreman is dead and gone over a $20 bill that we ain't never seen.
George Floyd. That's sad.
Derek Chauvin got away with putting a knee in a man's neck
over a $20 bill. That
over a $20 bill.
Lord have mercy.
Thank you, Forte. Ben Crump had already won before the trial even started with the $27 million settlement from the family. You already know.
It don't bring him back.
It ain't gonna bring him back. It ain't gonna bring him back. That
yes,
is,
it is, AJ.
It's a real viral question, and I don't know how we make it go viral unless we put it all on social media: Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter.
Type it on your Talk Radio page and just everybody share it.
And Al Sharpton need to sit down too, because they all getting on my nerves. At least he can articulate a little bit more better than Ben Crump. I mean, Ben Crump be like, hold on. I don't even know what he be saying, but Al Sharpton get on my nerves too. But they ain't training nobody to take over. They're not training these younger people to come in and take their place to do a better job than what they're doing because they want all of it for themselves.
The spotlight, because it's not for the right reason.
Not for the right reason. But the issue, Carolyn, let's talk about the issue real quick about the Army man with the kid that was developmentally handicapped that was walking through an Army-based neighborhood. If I'm a military-based neighborhood, where another Army person was harassing him, and even put his hands on it. That man touched that baby. Whew. And then Black Lives Matter came in and just took over the whole house and pretty much forced them out to leave because they was going to get him. And I don't know what the military did to the man, but they should definitely discharge him from the military. His whatever WDD or DD2s need to say dismiss for disciplinary action, putting your hands on somebody. That's the whole thing, Tracy. I don't understand that when we protest, we Black folks, when we protest, there's nothing wrong with protesting. When we protest, we want to tear the whole freaking city up. We want to tear up the stores. We want to rip things to shreds. Right. We want to walk in and run in and bust windows and steal cell phones.
Right.
Purses.
And TVs. It has nothing to do with the situation at hand.
Ain't got nothing to do with that. And he was suspended, but Carolyn, his DD2s ought to say something else other than suspended.
Dishonorably discharged.
Yeah. Wait 10 times. But we don't know how to show up in numbers as African Americans, as Blacks. We don't know how to do that. We let other people come in and stand up on our behalf. Shouldn't happen. We will continue to get the Derek Chauvins and
the Zimmermans.
What's that girl name in Minnesota? Beth, whatever her name is. We will continue to get those individuals. Those looters are not protesters. Those are looters. You're absolutely right.
And why would you tear up where you live?
You tearing up somewhere now? Where can I go? Where I got to go now? Now I got to go out to the suburban neighborhood and
put my life. And take a greater chance, put my life on the line to go out in that neighborhood that I'm not from, and I don't look like the people that is from there.
That don't want me out there.
For the cycle to continue. Think.
At what point do we make a difference, or do we start? But we want to burn up our stuff. Stupid. I'm idiots. It's right. You're correct. But who's holding who accountable when all of this stuff takes place? Where are our fearless leaders at now? They are hiding under the covers, hiding behind the doors and not coming out, not being seen, not being visible, not talking about it.
Right.
Putting out stuff on paper. I don't want to read nothing on paper. Let me see you actually say that. Let me see it come out your mouth.
Uh-huh.
You putting a statement down on paper. Can I see it come out your mouth? Because somebody else could have wrote that for you. Where are the leaders?
Man.
Where are fearless leaders? Somebody help me. I just need a little help. Need a little help. That's all I'm saying. I just need a little help. The way I know we can make a difference is voting, making sure that we continue to hold those accountable for
That's
their
right.
wrongdoings.
That's right.
Documentation is always the key to doing that. That's one thing I learned on this job from people like Forte and Carolyn. Document it, write it down.
Black and white does not lie.
Because when you got it, it's a paper trail. And then when time comes for me to present it, guess who's going to present it? Me.
Yep.
I got you. Because I know what date and time this all took place on.
Everybody else gonna lose it in the shuffle, but I ain't gonna lose it in the shuffle.
I'm not going to lose it because I was taught by the best.
There you go.
I was taught by the best. Document.
That's right.
I mean, and it's just that simple. I have learned that from Michael Curitan, Carolyn Wilson,
Yeah.
Terrence Forte. I'm talking about some people that's been on or that were on.
Yeah.
Before you get out there, remember the Minnesota PD? He wrote this letter about a man dying. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. As if it was a natural death. And then he placed it on social media.
That's terrible.
Now where he need to get got to. See, all of these people that had something to do with the George Floyd case.
Yeah.
They
from
need,
the $20. We're gonna start with that $20 bill because now you got my wheels and my mind spinning as well. Because
I know that's normally what I do. Now look at the TV.
Why?
Looking at, I just looked up at the TV and it says they got Derek Chauvin on suicide watch. Now I was talking about that to somebody else. They said he more than likely will commit suicide before he have to do much time. And if they ain't watching him, that's exactly what he gonna do.
Yeah.
If it had not been for the teenager in the video, it would have been all over before. Yeah, you already know before it even got started. You already know Minnesota.
But then here's my thing. The thing that you just said. Well, Carolyn said Minnesota FOP even stood up for the murder.
They did.
Here's the thing that you just said. He's on suicide watch, so how would he be able to kill himself? I mean, so many people have been on suicide watch, but they killed themselves. Like, were they really on watch though? Here's the thing.
Well, this is the thing. How I think. You got clothes on. You can tie them clothes together.
That's true.
And put it wherever.
True.
There are ways. You got sheets on the bed. You got a pillowcase.
But when you're on suicide watch, are you really on suicide watch? That's my thing.
You got a sink in there that you can stop up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, stick your head in. Yeah.
I'm not trying to give nobody ideas on how to do this, but I'm just saying these are ways that I know. So that ain't my problem.
It sure ain't.
I ain't got to watch him.
That's the least of the worries. That's the least of our concern nowadays.
I don't have to watch him. So be it. It is what it is. Do what it do. We already got enough to worry about. We got enough on our table, and
it's plate. Yeah, and plates still showing up on the table. So
we got enough to worry about. So that's on Minnesota to spend thousands of more dollars watching him.
To babysit.
Because of EA, it's the reason why his wife divorced him. Because we are dying by the day. Yes, we are. And the bad thing about it is we killing ourselves and the police killing us too. So at some point, we got to figure out how we going to change this, what we going to do. And who we gonna hold accountable for all of this? Because we gotta hold somebody accountable. We gotta continue to try to put the best people that we can in office.
Yep. Yep.
We got to. We can't have idiots in place that's not gonna step up and do what they need to do and hold others accountable for when they do wrong.
That's right.
We cannot. But yet and still, we are putting people in positions, even the police department, putting
They
people in
couldn't.
positions
Where they
that's
shouldn't
not
be.
going to do anything and is not going to hold people accountable. At what point do we stand up and fight as a whole, as a people, not
Yep.
just because I'm black, as a people? We got to hold them accountable. We have got to. And I mean, I get it. I probably could run for office and win. I probably could, but I don't want to. That's not my fight. That ain't even my calling. I'm gonna keep doing Tuck Radio,
That's it.
and we gonna keep talking to the people. That's my call. Try to bring them information, but we got to stop the killing. We got to. We have got to. But you know, one thing that I don't like is when you got parents that's egging it on. You know, that's helping or supporting.
Yeah, they're wrong.
The wrong. That's where we got to educate those young parents.
Yep.
So I think at the end of the day, for the most part, we are happy and excited. You know, I get a lot of people talking about police reform, but I'm gonna tell you guys that are listening, you can like the police or you cannot like the police. That's your own personal opinion. Forte says we have been babysitting that day because those 3 officers who knew it, they didn't do nothing about it. And they were out of control and they knew it and they did nothing. Let's even go back to the Rodney King days.
Woo.
They beat Rodney King like he was a slave.
Man.
And we didn't even have cameras back then, but just so happened somebody had an old school camera that was caught on tape. They fiercely, brutally beat him down like he was a slave in the field. And that same beatdown continues
today.
In this century, in 21st century, year 2021, it's continuing. So at what point do we stop it? At what point do we call it enough is enough? Now we all say that, we all say do whatever. I mean, but at what point do we stand up and do something? We got to. We cannot continue to let things keep happening. We can't.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
We got to.
Exhausting.
I mean, we got to do something, you know, and I say it all the time, get in office, put people in office. But then when we put people in office, I know we look at it as like, okay, we put you there. You got to do the right thing, but then you don't do the right thing. And it's like, oh,
it's like we start all the way back over again. You still a money. You know, you focus on the wrong things, and this, you know, we can't do everything they do.
No,
we got to do when we get in them offices. We got to do it the right way because they already waiting for us to do it wrong.
It's crazy, and that's the piece that I'm trying to grasp my head around because you know we put these people in place, we put them in office, and you know fame and fortune and being held up here. It mentally puts them somewhere else where they feel like they got all kind of power in the world to make all
Greed.
these.
Greed.
You ain't got that kind of power. You don't have that kind of power. That's not the power that you should mentally try to have because you're in that position. Your job is to make sure that people like me, you, and everybody else
are treated the right way and things are done in accordance. And you can't do that if you're doing things out of accordance. It don't work that way.
Yep.
So, those are our thoughts. Those are our thoughts.
Those are definitely our thoughts.
Heavy
thoughts. And it's not over. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is a major victory. This is a major victory.
It's the beginning. It's the start.
This is a major victory for police, for law enforcement, for me, for black, white, men, women, boys, and girls. The Derek Chauvin case is a victory for all of us. Girl, we got criminals trying to run. Exactly.
They're every sector of the work field. Every sector. I don't care what you're doing.
But see, nobody digs deep enough into their history or their background and pull it up to show them that they got some criminal activity, or they had criminal activity, or they did something wrong, and then nobody wants to come up and speak against them. Why? See, that's the problem I got with black folk.
Fear.
They don't want to come up and speak against another black person in
They don't
office.
want to. They don't want to what? Snitch.
Exactly. With somebody in office. You don't want to speak up against somebody that's already in place, and you know they doing wrong. You know it, but you don't want to say nothing about it. What are you doing? You're not holding them accountable. And at the end of the day, if you're not holding them accountable, things like this are going to continue to happen. Period. At the end of the day, things like this are going to continue to happen, because now you know what they're doing, and you know their background, and you know what happened, but you allowed it to continue to take place because you don't want to say nothing. Why? They black man, black woman, and they in office.
And it was deep because Chris Cuomo said it's not gonna change until their children are being shot in the street. White folks, kids is being killed.
And I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again this week. And it's not ever said in front of me, because I will check them in a heartbeat. I've been in a position, and I worked around a lot of good officers, a lot of good ones. Some of them that aren't even on the department anymore, have retired. I'd be darned if I sit back and allow anybody to say until they comply, these things are going to continue to happen to them. I'd be darned if somebody says that in front of me and I do nothing about it. Because at the end of the day, I am going to hold them accountable. I don't care what I lose. I'm going to hold them accountable. So we got to hold everybody accountable.
That's right.
Ain't nobody perfect. We do have our flaws, and we have had issues, but you got to hold people accountable. And the only way we're going to do it,
speaking up and speaking out. You got to speak up and speak out.
Put the right people in the right place.
That's it.
At the end of the day, that's what we got to do. So we have been talking to you about pretty much everything.
Yes. Thoughts.
Our thoughts, your thoughts, everybody else's thoughts.
That's right.
We appreciate you. We're going to try to, we're hoping and praying that the weather can get better. We're trying to do some hookups, and I got somebody doing some technical things that that's going to be, y'all going to be able to call in, working on that. Y'all will be able to call in.
We won't see your face, but we'll hear your voice.
Exactly. So you can tell us what's going on.
That's about right.
That? Tell us how you feel. You ain't never got to say your name, but you can just tell us. So we working on all of that. Although right. I do love reading your comments, and letting other people see your comments. But at the end of the day, this is what we do. This is what we love to do. We're not professionals.
Nice.
We didn't go to school for this. We don't have a certificate or a degree to talk to you all, because we love to do this. And we love doing this on a weekly basis, every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Same time every week.
Hey, Mel, I know you got it from me. You got it from your auntie. That's why you say it all the time. But right here, same time.
That's
right. If any of you have an idea, a thought,
a topic,
if you want to come on and be a part of our conversation,
yes, please do so. Hop in there. Talk Radio inbox. Mine is Shanice Gibson Arnold. Contact us. Say, hey, I want to stay anonymous, but I want to talk about this, and we will respect your wishes as being anonymous, and we will talk about the subject at hand. There's nothing off limits. So fear not. We got global listeners. We appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, chiming in when you can. But if you got thoughts on topics, please give them to us. If you want to be anonymous, state that as well. Hey, I want to be anonymous, but I want to talk about it. And we surely will.
And we will. Because, one thing about it is you cannot be afraid to speak up. and
Speak
speak
out.
out.
That's for sure.
And we're not that. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching us. Y'all know what time it is. You know, we come to that part of the show where we got to give you some nitty gritty of some good positive words that's going to keep you going and help you keep moving for the remainder of the week or until we see you.
That's right.
Next Wednesday.
For sure. So I'm gonna go first. Mine is gonna be just stay safe in every aspect, not just washing your hands and wearing a mask. Stay safe in every aspect in your thoughts, in your decisions. Stay safe, do the best you can, think things out, as much as possible, because life is just so precious and people are just leaving here left and right, whether you see it on your TV screen or whether it's a friend or family that you've been surrounded by. Life is just happening so fast. So just be safe in all areas of your life, in all areas of your thinking.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Do not be afraid to hold other people accountable for their wrongdoings. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for the person that's next to you.
Oh, yeah.
Be able to hold them accountable for the things that they are doing wrong. Because if we don't, we will continue to be where we are and never move ahead. Who would have thought 20 years ago, maybe 20 plus years, when Rodney King got the beat down, we back at the same place with a knee in our neck? Who would have thought that? Because we never held anybody accountable. Hold people accountable, and we don't have to worry about getting a beat down or a knee in our neck. So at the end of the day, y'all know what I say. It's always better to give than it is to receive. And we're going to see y'all next week.
Next Wednesday, same time, same place.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. See you later.
See you guys.